Week 13 of the fantasy basketball season. Here's a few forwards I look to add this week. In time of recording this video, none of these plays have been placed on the safety or protocol list. The first guy, Brandon Clark of the Memphis Grizzlies. So we've seen flashes over the last few seasons here from Clark, but nothing that really stick. But right here, the last few weeks here, he's picking up the pace, and he's been a big part of this rotation as well. On the season, 9 points a game, 5 rebounds, 1.4 assists, a block a game, and 64% from the field. But the last couple weeks here for Brandon Clark, 12.4 points a game, 7 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 69% from the field. So he's scoring the basketball well. We know he's not a great three-point shooter, but he's very efficient from the field. Pretty decent rebound, and he gives you 4 or 5 categories. Right now, he's still available in 67% of fantasy leagues. The last few games here for Clark, January 4th at Cleveland, 13 points, 9 rebounds, a steal, 3 blocks, 60% from the field. January 6th versus Detroit, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, 55% from the field. And January 8th at the Clippers, 18 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, 66% from the field. So if you need some forward help, Brandon Clark's a guy to get this week, no doubt about it, with his efficiency, with him giving on his other categories. And over the last few weeks here, he's playing about 25 minutes a game, so that's a good sign. And I don't see there being any reason why the Grizzlies are going to cut his playing time. So Brandon Clark's definitely a player I would give an add to this week. The next play is Herbert Jones of the New Orleans Pelicans. I've mentioned Jones probably 5 or 6 times this season on the waiver wire ad, but this guy's going out there, he's performing, and he's still available in 48% of fantasy leagues. And this Pelican team, we know they're going nowhere this season, a lost season, and they want to see what the youngsters are doing. So on the season here for the rookie Jones, 8.4 points a game, 3.8 rebounds, 1.9 assists, 1.5 steals a game, 47% from the field. But the last few weeks here, he's really found it is Herbert Jones, 14.7 points a game, 5.7 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 2.3 steals a game, 1.7 blocks, 1.2 threes a game, and 48% from the field. So right now, he's giving owners a consistent 5 or 6 categories, and that's good numbers. He's efficient from the field. He don't hit the 3 ball, but besides that, he's getting points. He's getting some rebounds. Great stealer of the basketball, where he's got 10 steals in his last 3 games here is Jones. And he's definitely worth an add in my opinion. Like I mentioned, the Pelicans are going to be playing all these young guys, and Jones is part of the nucleus. The last few games for him, January 3rd versus Utah, 11 points, 5 boards, an assist, 4 steals, a block, 50% from the field. January 4th versus Phoenix, 9 points, 4 boards, 5 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, a 3, 42% from the field. And January 6th versus Golden State, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 steals, and 50% from the field. So right now, he's doing a little bit of everything like I mentioned, and he's definitely a player I would look to add on the wire this week. The next forward is C.D. Osman of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So Osman, he's been out for a while on the safety and protocol list, but right here, he returned to action in January 7th's ball game, and he had a good game. This guy could hit threes. He could shoot a decent percentage, and his numbers this season have been pretty solid. 11.6 points a game, 2.7 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 2.4 threes a game, and 45% from the field. So if you need 3-point shooting, I think Osman is a guy to go out there and get him. Right now, he's available in 86% of leagues. So the last few games for him, December 18th at Milwaukee, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, 5 threes, 66% from the field. December 22nd at Boston, 13 points, 6 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a 3, 35% from the field. And then his return January 7th at Portland, 14 points, 3 rebounds, a steal, 4 threes, and 55% from the field. So right here, this Cavalier team, believe it or not, they got a pretty deep team in my opinion. They got a good nucleus as well, and they got some veterans as well to go with this team. So Osman right now is a 3-and-D guy, is pretty decent in my opinion. And if you need some scoring and 3-point shooting, he's a forward I'd look to get this week. The next forward's Horton Tucker of the Los Angeles Lakers. So Horton Tucker, it's been an up-and-down season for him this year. On the season, 11 points a game, 4 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 40% from the field. But the last couple weeks here, the numbers, they've got a little bit better. 15.3 points a game, 3.3 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 1.7 steals a game, and 54% from the field. So Horton Tucker, if he just gets enough playing time and consistent touches of the ball, he definitely could be a forward with good fantasy value. So the last few games for him: January 2nd versus Minnesota, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 28% from the field. January 4th versus Sacramento, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, a 3, 69% from the field. And January 7th versus the Atlanta Hawks, 21 points, a rebound, 5 assists, 2 steals, a 3, and 53% from the field. So right now, he's scoring the basketball decently over the last few games. He's a pretty good assister and passer of the basketball. And his field goal has been pretty consistent the last 4 out of 5 games here. So if you want to take a shot at Tucker, who's been hot over the last week here, I would give him an add. And if he just slumps out again, you just drop him. But this week here, I would add him to my roster. And the fifth and final forward I looked at this week's Jared Vanderbilt of the Minnesota Timberwolves. So Vanderbilt, he's not that much available in fantasy leagues, only in 42% of leagues. But this guy's been putting up numbers for Minnesota and continue to play with a few of the guys back from the protocol and injured list here. So on the season here for Vanderbilt, 6 points a game, 9 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 1.5 steals, and 55% from the field. But the last couple weeks here for Vanderbilt, 6.4 points a game, 11.4 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.6 steals a game, and 51% from the field. So he's not that big of a scorer, but if you need rebounding and a pretty good field goal percentage and a guy who could get some steals and block shots, I think he's a decent add in my opinion. The last few games here for Vanderbilt, January 3rd at the Clippers, 8 points, 9 boards, a steal, 57% from the field. January 5th versus the Thunder, 5 points, 13 boards, 3 assists, a steal, a block, 50% from the field. And January 7th at the Thunder, 11 points, 16 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and 55% from the field. So right now, if you need those categories like I mentioned, he's a pretty good add this week. And he's available in 42% of leagues. So that's a few forwards I look to add here for week 13 of the fantasy basketball season.